is TOS Television, your digital-first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Ukwade, and this is Africa Now. In a bid to curb unnecessary medical tourism by Africans and add a face to the African health sector, the African Medical of Excellence, in partnership with King's College Hospital, United Kingdom, on Tuesday unveiled a 500-bed capacity African Medical Center in Abuja. Speaking virtually, President Muhammadu Buhari and Professor Golham Mufti lauded the initiative, noting that the project will transform the African health system. On his part, the president of Afreximbank, Benedict Orama, who frowned at the extravagant expenses on foreign medical trips by Africans, said the modernization of the healthcare is a continental emergency.
It transformed the healthcare sector in West Africa. Today also demonstrates the commitment of the Nigerian government and Afreximbank to the well-being of the African people and the recognition that the wealth of a nation rests squarely on the health of its population.
We must promote investments that enable us to deal with today's health challenges and prepare us to confront those of the future. These investments must focus on building world-class medical infrastructure equipped with modern technology, and they must also focus on advancing training and innovation. Today's ceremony is one step towards self-reliance for Africa's healthcare delivery.
In putting together a vision for African Medical Center of Excellence, we have prioritized tertiary clinical needs of the population with a particular emphasis in the non-communicable diseases area, which has increasingly been seen both in incidence as well as in prevalence in Nigeria and the whole of the continent. The super specialist clinical diagnostic research and educational expertise will be housed in the state-of-the-art facilities to provide a heartblood for the medical sciences in Nigeria and other parts of Africa.
Adama Barrow, Gambia's newly re-elected president, in his first news conference since the election on Tuesday, said that his government plans to draft a new constitution that would introduce presidential term limits. Barrow comfortably won re-election on Sunday with 53% of Saturday's vote, which election observers have said was conducted fairly, despite challenges from some opposition candidates who initially rejected the result. A new constitution will restructure the polling process to include potential runoff polls if no candidate wins 50% of the vote, Barrow added. Now, Uganda's Chief of Military Intelligence, Major General Abdel Kandiho, was imposed financial sanctions by the U.S. Treasury Department on Tuesday over alleged human rights abuses committed under his watch. In response, Uganda's military said it was disappointed by the decision and would seek clarification from Washington. The action freezes any U.S. assets of Kandiho and generally bars Americans from dealing with him. Ethiopia has accused the United States of perpetuating a destructive narrative after Washington and its allies sounded the alarm over reports that the authorities were unlawfully detaining citizens on ethnic grounds. The U.S. and other Western nations released a joint statement on Monday saying they were profoundly concerned by recent reports of the Ethiopian government's decisions of large numbers of Ethiopian citizens on the basis of their ethnicity and without charge, and urging a halt to all of such arrests. And at least 30 passengers, including women and children, on a bus in Nigeria's Sokoto state were burnt to death when gunmen touched it on Tuesday, police and residents said. Sanusi Abubakar, spokesman for the Northwestern Sokoto State Police, said the bus was carrying 24 passengers when it set alight by armed men and that 7 people had escaped with injuries and taken to hospital. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You're watching Africa Now. More stories coming your way after the break. Just stay tuned. Welcome back. The government of Tanzania has been holding talks with media owners and the Tanzania Human Rights Defenders Coalition to lift bans and suspension on media organizations which have been barred from operating. Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Constitution and Legal Affairs, Amon Mpanju, said President Samia Suluhu Hassan has ordered the ministry to resolve press freedom challenges in the country. President Samia's predecessor, John Magufuli, was reportedly accused of suppressing press freedom in the country. South Africa's parliament on Tuesday failed to secure the two-thirds majority it needed to amend Section 25 of the Constitution to pave the way for land exploration without compensation. The country's white minority is believed to have a disproportionate hold over land, with a few thousand white commercial farmers possessing the most fertile land. The government has said it would turn to alternative legislation to redistribute land. An Egyptian court ordered the release of jailed researcher Patrick Zaki on Tuesday, although not acquitted of the charges against him, an Egyptian rights group and a judicial source said. Zaki, an Egyptian graduate student at Italy's University of Bologna, was arrested on February 2020 during a visit to Egypt and accused of spreading false information over an article he wrote about the plight of Egypt's Christians. The next hearing in the trial will take place on February 1, 2022. The researcher and activist risk up to 5 years in jail, Egyptian judicial sources say. Now, 4 university lecturers in Morocco have appeared in court accused of offering students better grades in return for sex. They are charged with incitement to debauchery, gender discrimination, and violence against women. The African Union on Tuesday called for the immediate lift to travel restrictions imposed on some of its member states. The AU, in a statement, said the measures act as a disincentive for information sharing in the future, potentially posing a threat to health security on the continent and globally. Late last month, European Union states, the United States and Britain, among other nations, imposed travel curbs on 7 Southern African countries after they reported several cases of the Omicron variant. Now in sports, Kenyan side Sofapaka FC have been handed a transfer ban by FIFA after failing to pay former Ghanaian striker Jadina Nana Ameyo his dues in January of 2021, citing continued dismissal of performances. Ameyo is claiming $12,000, the total value of his annual contract, plus interest and $1,000 in legal costs from the Kenyan Premier League side. Sofapaka's transfer ban will be lifted once Ameyo has been paid. And that is it on Africa Now. For more updates, to visit our website at www.TOS TVNetwork.com. Do follow and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. To stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Abigail Lukmade. Thanks for watching.